So Season 4 hasn't even been out yet, and it already broke a pattern. The 2 previous seasons launched within 24 hours of the previous season ending, and right now, we're at 35 hours. And if you misplay the hype and misplay the hysteria, you'll miss out on a ton of resources that'll cost you money and elo before the season even opens up. This extra time is a gift. You have extra time to play and position. Workshop authors are updating skins, Valve's finalizing weapon adjustments, and the Armory's redemption clock is ticking towards a rotation that most traders aren't even playing. Here's what's actually happening. The skin market is already pricing in Season 4 speculation, and I think that's why the market cap has left for the last couple of weeks, because they are waiting for news. But the news is right in front of us. One weapon finish is getting workshop updates, which could precede a visual overhaul in game, and the Armory contains at least 2 collections with redemption velocity, typical of collections that get discontinued in the next update. So forget your elo for a second, we'll get into that in a moment. Right now that's the least of your problems. Let's first swag you out, and we'll do a budget this time. A loadout under $30 that you can get right now from our sponsor UUSkins. UUSkins offers direct access to the Chinese market, and subsequently, you get Chinese prices on NA servers. Choose from their extensive catalog of skins with low rates and low fees to entry. This website is seriously amazing. Just ask around and you'll hear it from everyone. So let's use UUSkins to get our loadout. You're first going to start off with the AK-47 Baroque Purple. In field tested, it'll cost you around $6.50. Kill your enemies with class. That purple threading gives you royalty energy without the royalty price tag. And it's a neutral purple, so it runs with any loadout you're currently having in your inventory right now. Next, the M4A1S Solitude. This one runs around $2 right now. Each one of the 1,000 patterns are distinct and unique, and all 1,000 of them are very, very visually appealing. And above every mountain is a nice soaring bird. Consider the M4 Griffin. This is a bit of an OG skin now, but what it lacks in novelty, it makes up for it in pure beauty and elegance. This will run you another $3, so now you've got options depending on your mood. You're gonna need an AWP, and let's stick with our royal vibe a little bit and go for the AWP Duality. For the price right now, this is the most underrated AWP in the game. Very clean, very underrated, very underpriced. This one will run you around $4. Pistol round, let's keep it up. Glock 18 Royal Legion, which will run you around $3 in the USP lead conduit. Now these are both from the Wildfire case, and they have notably neutral colors, but the exposed metal is etched in with a beautiful paisley pattern. Looks fantastic in every single loadout, no matter what color it is. That should be around $20, and you got all your main guns sorted. And quietly, I chose these ones for a reason, and that's because all of them have a decent amount of upside. They're either from discontinued collections with solid fundamentals, or they're from cases that have recently seen increased attention from either China or pros, whoever it may be. None of these are going to zero. So you're not just styling yourself, but you're holding value. Like a virtual Rolex. But no loadout's complete without the finishing touches. And that's of course a knife and glove combo. And if you need that finishing touch, there's one that punches way above its price class. It's also my personal favorite. That is the Lore Knife, whatever one suits your style, plus the Driver Gloves Racing Green. The gloves are the cheapest in the game, and it makes no sense to me. It should be more in price merely because of this combo. The handle and the glove flow together seamlessly, like the knife is a part of your body. You get all the luxury, you get all the prestige, and you get it without the trust fund typically needed for a knife and glove combo of this caliber. Now, a little bit of market advice. With new seasons come updates. Updates can be to guns, how they perform, or how they look visually and aesthetically. If you haven't kept up, the AWP Chrome Cannon received an update in the workshop just a few days ago on January 19th. Timing coincidental? Maybe, but considering how infrequent this gun gets updated, probably not. It received a striking visual upgrade, and while the skin itself has already seen price increases, you should be looking at other iridescent skins within the game that could also benefit from a change similar to the AWP Chrome Cannon. So while everyone's watching that one, the lateral play is putting money into iridescent skins that haven't received the same premium as of yet. But weapon visuals are only half of the equation. Now here's a principle I return to constantly. A buff or a nerf can reprogram an entire market class overnight. The three I always touch on, AUG, SG, MP7. These do randomly cycle into competitive viability every once in a while. And when a gun is meta, their prices no longer rely on just pure fundamentals, they also rely on aesthetic quality. So if you have a little bit of cash sitting around from that loadout, consider buying a skin in each of these three weapons. I personally like the AUG Aristocrat, and it fits the vibe I gave you before, and the SG553 Integrale. We've speculated that the Inferno collection is on its way out, so this is also a pretty good investment for yourself. If the MP9 receives another nerf, the MP7 will be the gun to go, so maybe just choose the one that you like the most in that class. But if you wait until that update, you're going to buy at the top. Now, the Armory probably is not going to change today, but since other people are waiting for updates, it's a good time to accumulate right now. 2 sticker collections, the Elemental Craft and the Sugarface collection. The Elemental Craft is redeemed quite a bit, however it's been there since the beginning of the Armory, and I imagine it will soon be discontinued in lieu of a new craft collection. The Sugarface collection has very, very, very low redemption velocity. Poor redemptions mean poor supply, and subsequently premature removal from the armor. Valve's removal decisions do have a set pattern, however they're always not linear. Secondly, for skins, allocation towards the Train 2025 collection might be a smart play right now. The numbers compete with graphic design. The graphic design collection lasted 1 year to the day. Train could very well do the same. So if your entire allocation is towards the Overpass and Sport and Field collections, even though I think one of these will get removed, you're holding consensus positions being in both of them. And consensus positions work, and that's for the market. But now let's get you set for the game. Because one of the best investments you can make is investing in yourself. Anubis is back. And if you're playing it cold for the first time, here's a couple nades to make sure you're not completely useless in your first game. Here's a quick nade set on B side for executing B. Line up in this corner as shown, put your crosshair on top of this line and throw a smoke, which will smoke off CT. Stay in the same position, move your crosshair to the right a little bit, and throw this molly right here on a jump throw. This will molly off entrance into water and behind pillar, which is a common angle you have to clear when entering the B site. If you're on CT side, a great nade to throw from the A site, and all you have to do is line up right here in this corner, aim at this patch on the ground, and simply run and jump throw. This will nade stairs, which is a common choke point for T's when they're trying to peak water at the start of the round. You can do upwards of 200 to 300 damage, especially if they're on an eco round. Now there's tons more, but I'm just starting you off, because you can do all the chip damage you want with nades, but if you can't aim, you ain't getting those kills anyway. Let me show you a few workshop maps that increase your aim exponentially. The first one, and if you watched my stream before, you've definitely seen me on here, 5E Aim Hub. You start off in the main area, an open space to practice your counter strafing, mouse movement, very simple stuff, sort of like aimbots here. But they have a lot of different modes, such as one where you can track your recoil, track your reaction times, peek with ops. This is a very comprehensive workshop map. If you prefer the Aim Labs or Kovac style of aiming, don't use those apps. You'll have to transfer all your settings over. It takes too long. Consider downloading aim_training. You can customize the size of the target, the arena you're in, how fast the dots move, etc. This one is more for raw aim and not mechanics like 5E. If you prefer a little bit more fun style, you can try aim_hachimi. This one's sort of like Rock Band. It's a rhythm-based aim train. Be warned, the music sucks. Turn your volume to 0, put on a Spotify playlist of your choosing. I'll leave mine in the description. It's fucking fantastic. I made it. And don't just copy the pros, because the best Crosshair and Viewmodel are the ones that are the best for you, not for Kenny S. Crash has had a workshop map for both of these, going as far back as I can remember, 10 plus years at this point. Load in, tweak your crosshair, tweak your Viewmodel until it feels right to you, and then you simply shoot the save and exit button, and they're set, ready to go for your next match. Now CS2 isn't known for its optimization in terms of FPS. In terms of settings, put all those bitches on low, except for shadows. You'll need that one. Spotting shadows is an actual skill gap. You'll need those shadows, trust me, for both protecting yourself and spotting enemies. Now there are a few apps out there that optimize the external, outside of your game, for you. 2 that I found that are pretty good is one's called Hone, and the other one is called Booster X. Choose whatever one you prefer, I guess. What they're going to do is shut off background processes, allocate different apps towards different parts of your computer, and make sure you're running CS2 at the most optimal performance. Maybe something else you haven't considered, your auditory reaction time. Most people don't know this, but your reaction to audio cues is quicker than it is to visual. Right? Your ears don't blink. I'm sure there's more, but one I use is SteelSeries Sonar, and they have audio presets for basically every game out there that's decently popular or competitive. So you load up the app, choose the CS2 one, and your game is ready to go for CS2 optimized sound quality. Now your visual cues do matter as well. So if you're struggling to see enemies, consider opening up the NVIDIA control panel or the AMD equivalent and up your saturation and digital vibrance just a little bit. That way the enemies don't blend in with the background on maps such as Overpass, where there's a few dark corners that can get you killed. Now, if you did all that and you still fucking suck, maybe get back in the aim lab, but also check out Leetify. I'm sure you've seen it in the chat when someone gets knifed. After every game, wait about 5 minutes and it'll give you pretty much a full detailed overview of what you did right and what you did wrong throughout your last match. No scrubbing through your demos trying to figure out what went wrong. And on top of that, Leetify tells you exactly what you did wrong, so you know what to focus on. They find the patterns. They find where you die the most, where you get kills the most. Are your flashes working? Is your aim dialed in as much as it could be? Sometimes you don't know what you're doing wrong until someone else shows you. And now you don't need a person, you have an app doing it for you. Season's 4 delayed window gave you time. It gave me time to make this video. The question is what you did with it. And you made the right choice by watching this video. Now your loadout sorted, you know the state of the market, and you have all the tools available to you to increase your elo as fast as possible to make sure your medal next season is not light blue. But Valve has already broke their first pattern, so what else is in store for us today? Who knows? Update Waiting Room will be on my live stream tonight on twitch.tv at around 5 to 6 p.m. I will leave the specifics in either the Discord or the pinned comment, whatever you prefer. Also, stay tuned for another announcement, something I can't reveal yet. However, I feel most of you might be pretty excited, hopefully. So stay tuned. Other than that, cheers and good luck.